Vaginal discharge is something that all women have. How do you know whether your vaginal discharge is normal or abnormal? There are many ways to find out. And one of them is by looking at the color of the discharge. In this video, we are going to focus on the different colors of vaginal discharge, what each color may signify, when to just rely on home remedies, and when to definitely go to a doctor to get proper treatment. So stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome to Mind Body Tonic, and this is Dr. Sita with you again. Vaginal discharge is something that every woman has throughout her life, usually after puberty. At times, even small girls can have vaginal discharge. But here we are talking mainly about vaginal discharge that occurs after puberty. And after puberty, the hormonal variation that occurs throughout a menstrual cycle changes the amount, consistency and appearance of the normal vaginal discharge. It can also change during pregnancy and when one is sexually aroused. Most of the time, the discharge that comes out of the vagina is normal. However, at times, due to infection, inflammation and some other conditions, the smell, color and the volume of the discharge that comes out of the vagina changes, and it may be accompanied by some other symptoms as well. In this video, we are going to focus on the different colors of vaginal discharge, what each color can signify, when to just try out some home remedies, and when to definitely go to a doctor and get proper treatment. The first color I am going to focus on is creamy or white, curd or cottage cheese-like discharge. Most of you must be familiar with this type of discharge. It's usually caused by a fungus known as Candida albicans. The common name of infection caused by this fungus is yeast or thrush. Some amount of Candida albicans are part of the healthy vaginal flora. However, in so many conditions, say like overuse of antibiotics, when there is diabetes mellitus, and when the body immunity is low due to various illnesses and various other conditions, the candida overgrow and may cause infection. Usually in candidal vaginal infection, the lips of the vagina are swollen and red. The woman finds it difficult to sit. It gives her a lot of pain. There is pain during contact with the partner and there is severe itching. When there is severe itching, the woman has the urge to scratch, and scratching can harm the sensitive area, which can in turn lead to infection by other organisms also, and the itching increases. Other symptoms also increase. Again the woman scratches, again the itching increases, and thus a vicious cycle starts. Rarely the woman may not notice this cottage cheese or curd like discharge coming out of the vagina, even if there is candidiasis, and there may not be other symptoms also. Candidal infection, though it's not a sexually transmitted infection, it can be transmitted from one partner to the other if one of them has it. This yeast infection needs to be treated. Antifungal tablets, vaginal pessaries and creams are used for treating the infection. The second color that I am going to focus on is greenish yellow discharge. This definitely is not normal. This is a typical feature of trichomonial vaginitis, and this trichomonial vaginitis is caused by a flagellated parasite known as Trichomonias vaginalis. This is definitely a sexually transmitted infection, and the chances of contacting this infection is more when you have unprotected contact with your partner without using barrier contraception. If you do not use barrier contraception and rely on tablets or some other methods for contraception, then you will not be protected from getting trichomonial vaginal infection. Probably many people would not have heard about trichomoniasis infection. Trichomonial vaginitis is the most common non-viral sexually transmitted infection. The typical appearance of the discharge caused by this infection is frothy greenish yellow discharge. This has got a foul smell also. Along with that, there is irritation and burning sensation in and around the vaginal opening. You may also experience burning sensation while passing urine. However, at times, a woman who has got trichomonial vaginitis infection may be completely asymptomatic too, and it is randomly discovered when your doctor does a per speculum examination. If you suspect that you have this type of vaginal infection, please do not waste your time trying out home remedies. Consult a doctor at the earliest. Get yourself and your partner treated. Usually antibiotics are given for this infection, and make sure that if you have had a different partner, say 5 or 6 weeks ago, that partner should also get treated. This is completely curable with proper treatment. The third color I am going to focus on is yellowish vaginal discharge. This typically occurs in the presence of gonorrhea infection. Gonorrhea is a bacterial infection caused by the bacteria gonococci. This is also sexually transmitted and can be transmitted via all types of sexual activity. This can cause infection of the cervix of the uterus, that is the mouth of the uterus, the urethra, that is the tube which carries urine from the urinary bladder to the outside, the rectum, and at times the throat and eyes also. However, the sad part is in more than 50% of women who have got gonorrhea infection, there are no symptoms at all. So it may remain undetected and untreated for a long time, and finally when there is some complications or some issues, when you do certain investigations, then you may suspect that this woman might have had gonococcal infection in the past. If the woman is symptomatic, these may be the common symptoms. I've already mentioned about the yellow discharge which can occur. The other symptoms may be burning and stinging sensation during passing urine, pain during contact with a partner, pain in the lower abdomen, intermenstrual bleeding. The way to protect yourself from gonorrhea is by using some barrier contraceptive methods while having a relationship with your partner. And if you suspect that you may be having gonorrhea, please do not hesitate to go to the doctor immediately and get it treated at the earliest. That is very important to prevent long-term complications. The fourth color that I am going to focus on is reddish, pinkish or brownish discharge. In some situations it is normal, and in other situations it may indicate some underlying pathology. If it occurs around the ovulation period, it may be normal and it indicates that ovulation has occurred. Just before your period, if there is some brownish discharge, it may indicate that yes, your periods is on the way. And towards the end of your period, once the bleeding stops, sometimes there may be slight brownish discharge for a day or two. That's also normal. If you have had unprotected contact with your partner during your fertile period, then this brownish or pinkish discharge 2 to 3 days before your next period, then it might indicate implantation bleeding, and that's also normal. You may be happy with it if you are expecting to become pregnant, or you may be very upset if you do not want a pregnancy. This implantation bleeding usually subsides within 2 or 3 days. Another cause of reddish or brownish discharge somewhere or any time during your cycle might be postcoital bleeding. That is, after you have had sexual contact with your partner. That might be due to some trauma during that act, and it may usually subside on its own within the next 12 hours or so. If it doesn't subside, or if there is increased bleeding, please go and show a doctor. If the mouth of your uterus, that is the uterine cervix, is not healthy, if there is an erosion or if there is inflammation, then there might be some intermenstrual spotting. If you have not had sexual contact with your partner, if you have not ovulated recently, but you still have this intermenstrual spotting, then please go and consult a doctor, get your cervix examined and find out if there is any cervical erosion or inflammation. And if there is, please do get it treated. If you are pregnant and there is pinkish, brownish or reddish discharge during pregnancy, it may be a sign of threatened miscarriage. If that is the case, then definitely you should consult your gynecologist. If you are in the menopausal age group, even if you do not have much of a bleeding or discharge and have just some brownish or pinkish spotting, please go and consult your gynecologist. Please rule out any malignancy of the cervix and the uterus, because in menopausal women, spotting like this may be one of the earliest features of some malignancy. The fifth color I am going to focus on is grayish vaginal discharge. This is definitely indicative of bacterial vaginosis. Like candidal vaginitis, bacterial vaginosis also is not sexually transmitted per se. However, if one of the partner has got infection, it may be transmitted to the other partner also. This infection is caused by a bacteria known as Gardnerella vaginalis. The chances of contracting this infection is more when the pH of the vagina changes from its usual acidic nature to an alkaline nature. And when does this occur? When you do vaginal douching, when you use feminine vaginal washes to clean inside the vagina, and when you're too much fond of and pamper yourself with bubble bath, etc. Usually when there is only bacterial vaginosis, there is no itching or irritation. However, there is a pungent fishy smell, especially following sexual activity or immediately after showering and bathing that area with soap, etc. When there is this infection, the pH of the vaginal discharge is definitely more than 4.5 and you find clue cells which are particularly diagnostic of bacterial vaginosis. The treatment is by giving antibiotics both orally and at times as creams for local application. It's better to treat the partner also. The last color I would like to focus on is clear discharge. This clear discharge occurs in different amounts and the consistency is also different during different phases of the menstrual cycle. I had mentioned about this earlier in this video. Usually this does not have any smell or has a slight musky odor. And this type of discharge is more common around the time of ovulation when you are sexually aroused and sometimes before your period also. During pregnancy also, this clear type of discharge may be there, sometimes more, sometimes less. If there is no itching, no foul smell or no other associated symptoms, there is no need to worry about this type of discharge. Some people have a lot of vaginal discharge, some people have lesser amount of it. Just like some people sweat a lot, some people do not sweat as much. Now that we have discussed about the different vaginal discharges and what they may signify and how to go about managing them, let's see what are the things which we can do at home to prevent infections from occurring, and if at all they occur, to treat them in the early stages. And after that, we'll see when we should not depend upon just home remedies and go to a doctor for proper treatment. So here we go. The most important thing is, as you all know, maintain good personal hygiene. Due to the constant wetness, infections are more prone to occur. So it is very, very essential that you keep the area as dry as possible. Use only mild soaps, or better still, use only Sindet bars with pH below 5 to wash that area. And if you have fungal infection, use antifungal soaps. Avoid douching your vagina, and please do not use intimate vaginal wash solutions. The vagina has the ability to cleanse itself. There is no need to wash inside the vagina. You just wash the outside of the vagina, that is a vulval area, and the surrounding area with mild soap or Sindet bar or with antifungal soap, as I suggested just now. Resist the temptation to take bubble baths frequently. You may do it once in a while, occasionally, but please do not make it a habit. When you choose your underwear, choose cotton underwear, and that too underwear of light color, because some people may get allergy to the dyes that are present in the colored underwear also. If you have the habit of using tissue wipes after going to the toilet, make sure that you wipe from the front to the back and never from the back to the front, because it may increase the risk of developing infection. If you are having contact with your partner and if you are not sure that your partner has not had any STIs recently or is having STIs, then please do use a barrier contraceptive method in addition to whatever other protection you may be using. If you are using salt water to clean your private area, please avoid using a lot of salt. The water should be only as salty as your tears. Always remember that. And please be careful of the way you remove your pubic hair. Please do not shave. Please do not use any creams. The best way to remove the pubic hair is to just trim it. Please also take care of your diet. Try to avoid or reduce pro-inflammatory food as much as possible. Examples of pro-inflammatory food are white rice, white sugar, many of the vegetable oils, refined food, fried food, fast food, etc. It's not enough if you just avoid pro-inflammatory food. You should include a lot of anti-inflammatory food also in your regular diet. Do regular physical exercise, and if you find that you are sweating too much, then change your underwear at the earliest and make sure that that area is dry most of the time, if not always. Keep yourself hydrated, drink plenty of water. Please avoid carbonated drinks. Please do not listen to the home remedies that are offered by many, like stuffing garlic, turmeric, apple cider vinegar, baking powder and whatnot into the vagina. I've had patients coming to me after doing all such gimmicks. Obviously, they have suffered a lot and I have also had a tough time treating them. So please be careful of all these things. If you have recurrent fungal infections, please make sure that you sterilize your clothes, at least your underclothes. Please soak your underclothes in boiling water for at least half an hour. That will make a lot of difference. Avoid the tendency to scratch. If you have too much of itching, please go to a doctor, get prescription for some anti-allergic medication and take it for a few days until that tendency to scratch is reduced. So these are some of the things that you can do at home without going to a doctor. However, there are certain situations when you definitely must see a doctor. If you find that your vaginal discharge is of unusual color, if there are associated symptoms like pain and irritation, if there is foul smell, if there is bleeding, or if you suspect that there could be something really wrong, then please do not hesitate to go to a doctor. There is no need to be embarrassed to go to a doctor and explain your symptoms to him or her. It is better that whatever issues that you may be suffering from gets treated at the earliest. I hope that after watching this video, you are now clear about the different colors of vaginal discharge, what each color signifies, what the associated symptoms are, when to go to a doctor for treatment, when to just manage at home, and what all to do to prevent infections from occurring, and if at all it occurs once, to prevent it from recurring again and again. If you like this video, please smash the like button, and yes, do share the video link with your friends, family and other contacts. Till I see you again with another video, take care of yourself and your loved ones and stay blessed.